Welcome viewers to the Saturday, May 2nd, 2026 edition of the 284 Weekend Roundup. I am Jaco Wooding Donovan bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with news that Team BVI Electricity Corporation received a warm welcome home at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport on the morning of Tuesday, April 28th, following an impressive performance at the 2026 CARILEC Line Workers Rodeo held in Dominica. More in this report.
284 Media was on the ground at the arrivals gate to welcome back the team and speak with its members along with Public Relations and Marketing Media Manager Kamal Haynes. The team secured a total of 6 awards. Giovan Kroll led the team's success and was one of the top performers. Of the 6 awards earned by the team, Kroll's first place titles in the apprentice category, including overall apprentice champion, accounted for 3 of them. Kroll reflected on this success, saying that everything went according to plan from his point of view.
Well, the championship went, I guess you could say, according to plan, because I brought home the trophy like I was planning to all the time. So no complaints at all. It was a very, very great experience, and I appreciate my team for coming with me, and we go out there and do what we're supposed to do. We were training very, very hard for it, and we came back home with a trophy. So thank you to the team and the company and everybody for the experience.
A 4th apprentice category win came from Lionel Smith. The 2 remaining titles came from the experience category, which was led by Trevor Stevens, who described the team as well-prepared and disciplined.
It was a good experience, my first time as team leader, and all the guys, them listen to me, they pay attention, they were well-disciplined, so I had no problem being the leader.
Experienced linesman Edward Pollock said that this year's competition came with some new surprises and prevailing adverse weather conditions that added an unexpected twist to the annual competition.
It was indeed a pleasure having this bunch of guys, during the rodeo in Dominica. It was not easy. We had to deal, with the atmosphere, a lot of rain, but nevertheless, we stayed together throughout the competition. We had a few mishaps here and there, but thank God, it's not, really the list of it, but we came back, with 1 first place in the apprentice division, and then, we did our best in the senior division likewise. We had 1 mishap that caused us the trophy in the senior division, but we did all that we could have done. And that in itself, we can give ourselves a great applause for what we were able to accomplish in Dominica, because it was not easy for us. It was competitive at its highest level, but nevertheless, we came on top at the end of it all. The only thing that was really, different this year is the judging criteria. Over the years, the judging criteria has changed. They has made, adjustment throughout the competition. So a lot of times you go to those competitions expecting the judging criteria to remain the same, but it keeps changing. So you never know what to expect when you go, to those competitions. Because times that you may have had the previous year, it might just, change the next year coming. And then, the mystery event, likewise, is an event that changes, all throughout the competition. But we always go prepared, expecting anything when we go to those competitions. We never go, thinking that we are better than anyone. We go with, the competitive mindset that we are there, and we're there to compete, and we are there to win.
Meanwhile, experienced team member Shaquille Samuel said that on the heels of a positive experience in Dominica, the team is already eyeing next year's trophy.
The experience was very nice. We enjoy going over to Dominica, representing the BVI and showing those guys what we are made of and all our skills. So don't worry, guys. Next time, it's going to be a great time. We're going to still bring home the trophy as long as we stick together and do what we have to do.
Haynes shared similar sentiments as he welcomed the team's performance and noted that such competitions align well with the BVIHSA's vision.
Well, as always, we always welcome our team back. Team BVIHSA have always been doing extremely well on the international stage, or the regional stage more so when it comes to this particular competition. We would have went into the competition with big hopes as it relates to bringing back home that main trophy. However, despite not bringing back home the main trophy in the experience category, we did exceedingly well when it comes to the apprentice category, where the guys would have, 3 apprentice members that we had would have done extremely well. Our general manager, Dr. Neil Smith, was also there in attendance as well to cheer on the team, as well as to deal with CARILEC related stuff. And this is one of the main things that he likes to push as when it comes to that regional integration and partnering with the CARILEC body. So it's a win-win. It was a success overall, and as the team did say, the plan is to bring back home the 2 main trophies in 2027. We're not sure where that's going to be as yet, but we'll definitely keep the public updated as it relates to such.
Meanwhile, questions remain over whether veteran politician Mark Vanterpool is still a member of the National Democratic Party, as senior public figures offer conflicting views.
Outgoing interim president of the National Democratic Party, Bishop John Klein, recently suggested that Vanterpool had effectively exited the party, citing his conduct following internal elections that saw Marlon Penn elected chairman over him at the party's national convention. Klein characterized Vanterpool's actions as a clear departure, describing his manner of exit as irresponsible.
For the former member of the House of Assembly to come and claim that because there was some type of impropriety or bias, and that's why he seemed to now have left the party for a 3rd time and unwrapped his truck and took back the keys for the office that he offered the NDP to set up in, for him to somehow enter a campaign with the intention that him alone would win. It's a competition. There's 3 people. There were 5 people in the race, 3 for the chairmanship and 2 for the deputy chair. You don't see any one of the other men, these honorable gentlemen, behaving this way. For some to come in after they've left the party thinking that, I don't know, they're entitled to the top spot, and if they don't get it, then as one commentator said, pack up their marbles and pout and go home. That's irresponsible. I don't see people like that running this country. That's totally irresponsible. Let me now switch and leave the story and Honorable Vanterpool alone, because he's gone. He's gone from the party once again. This is his 3rd time he would have exited the party without resigning from the party. Right? We know what happened in 2023 when well, I won't even touch that because that's a whole different can of worms.
However, newly appointed NDP President Paul Hewlett has pushed back on that claim, telling Tweet4 Media that he has received no official notice indicating that Vanterpool has left the party.
You said he's exited. Have you received a letter from him that he stated publicly that he has exited the party?
Well, we would have gotten comments from the former interim president.
Well, we haven't received as a party, and I am the president, and I'm informing one and all that we have received nothing in writing, nothing official, from the Honorable Mark Vanterpool, that he has left the party. And as such, as far as we are concerned, he's still very much a part of the party until we're told otherwise. The unity is very much there. We are one, we are unified, we are ready to rock and roll, we are ready to get this thing done, to work with you, the people, to make this thing happen in our wonderful territory of the British Virgin Islands.
Hewlett maintains that the party remains unified, likening the situation to a family disagreement and emphasizing that internal disputes do not necessarily signal a permanent split.
We recognize the importance of coming back together. Everybody put their egos to one side. Families always have spats, and what happens is that I don't want to blame the media, but people love to hear stories, and so therefore they take a story this big and they make it this big, and they run with it, and they'll take it all over the world, all over the globe. But the reality is that we are a party, we do have spats. Not everybody can be happy at all times, we understand that, but we understand that unity is key. And the only way we can be successful at the upcoming general elections is if we work together as one.
And with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay tuned because we will be right back.
We mash the gas, them bite the dust. We set the speed while they gathering rust. Inside we heart BVI come first. So please don't be fooled cause they not lying.
Once we mash the gas, them bite the dust. Cause we always fast and we always fuss. If you want real speed, you know who to trust. Somebody better tell them they're not like who? They're not like us. CCT fast, like CCT fast, like CCT just generosity, love the community bad, like CCT fast with the 5G. Cause BVI is we.
Across the Virgin Islands, drivers have trusted VI Motors for generations. For 60 years, we've delivered dependable transportation, expert repairs, and quality parts, all under one roof. As a proud Napa franchise, our parts department carries leading brands like PPG Paints, Magic Accessories, Top Don Diagnostics Tools, Westlake and Goodyear Tires, plus reliable LTH batteries. Everything your vehicle needs to perform at its best. Our expert service department handles maintenance, diagnostics, and repairs you can rely on. And our vehicle sales team offers trusted Toyota and Honda vehicles built for island life. We proudly serve you at 2 locations, our flagship store in Dove's Bottom, Tortola, and our location on Virgin Gorda. From parts to service to sales, we're committed to you every step of the way. VI Motors, service beyond the call, serving the Virgin Islands for 60 years.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Scores of dead fish have washed up at one of the ponds in ANEGADA, and that is raising fresh concerns about the environmental impact of sargassum across the territory. Details in this report.
Images circulating on social media showed multiple species of fish affected, with some residents attributing the incident to the ongoing influx of seaweed. Chris Jordan of Commercial Divers criticized what he described as a lack of preparedness by authorities, arguing that sargassum has been a recurring issue in the Virgin Islands for years, without a comprehensive response.
I think that there's a lot of protocols and procedures in place which are there for a good reason, so that people don't just go and do things. Unfortunately, in this instance, I think that we're ill prepared for this season of sargassum that's coming in, and that because of that, we're now going to be facing a catastrophic disaster with our juvenile stocks of fish and other marine animals that live in the shallows. What's going to happen now is that seaweed is going to inundate the shoreline and the estuaries, and as it does, it depletes the oxygen from the water column, it increases the salinity, amongst other things, and it kills all the fish. So all those ponds and mangrove areas that ordinarily protect the small species that then grow and help our feeding chain are all going to die off, and are dying off literally, by thousands by the day. It's apparent. You can go and look at Hunts Creek, you can look at ANEGADA, you can look at probably at Bana, even parts of Seacast Bay. And so I think as a country we should be proactive and embracing the fact that this is the new norm. We've known about this since 2014. And every year it just seems to be kicked aside and nothing is done. We have done pilot projects with the ministry. We do have boom available. While we don't have boom for all of the areas, we could certainly help save specific areas and work as a community and as a country together to save our resources. But I think just sitting idle, watching this happen year after year, given that the BVI is such an incredibly beautiful place, it's just silly. We need to act on it. We need to act now. The ministry been trying to obtain funds to install booms at different locations. I have offered and will continue to offer to install booms, say as an example, at ANEGADA to protect the intake and the salt pond, which is actually a heritage site, a Ramsar protected site, and also a nurse shark juvenile estuary, lemon shark estuary breeding ground. And so it's imperative that we protect those areas at the very least. Probably the same would be for Hunts Creek, amongst other places. And yeah, I would be willing to put the boom in, but unfortunately, I think that just due to policy and other restrictions, it's not going to be able to get done. That's all.
He said the territory needs to take a more proactive approach to managing the problem and mitigating its effects on marine life and coastal ecosystems. Meanwhile, the government has acknowledged the situation and says it is actively investigating. 9th District Representative Vincent Wheatley confirmed that a team from the Department of Conservation, Fisheries and Natural Resources has been dispatched to assess the situation.
And it was brought to my attention also been 2 days ago, my cousin Lawrence sent me some videos of what's happening at the pond. A team was dispatched just today to go to ANEGADA from Fisheries and from Natural Resources to assess the situation and come up with a solution. This happened a few years ago. There was a buoy system placed at the pond's mouth that was very effective. I am not sure what happened to that boom system, but I tried to go and see the situation up there now and to come up with a solution to get the sargassum out of the pond and to prevent further sargassum from going into the pond. So I read a report of their visit maybe later on today or maybe tomorrow. That pond is home to a lot of juveniles. It supports a large fish population, not only in the BVI, but in other countries as well, USVI, even down as far as Grenada. So that pond is critical to the stock, the seafood stock of the BVI in other countries. So it's not something we can take very lightly, the importance of that pond. So the team is there assessing and will come up with a solution to safeguard that pond. As we speak, we should be on the way to the pond now. And then ANEGADA doesn't really get the sargassum on that side very often. I think the last time was probably 2019 or something. That doesn't happen very, very often. But I said there was a boom system put in place to be proactive. I'm not sure what happened to the boom system. If it did work, as I recall, so if it was removed or whatever, I'm going to ask them to put it back because it did work back then. So again, I'll listen to the report to see what the findings are and what the proposed solution is. We're going to go back to the boom system or they're going to do something else. It's on the way there as we speak, so I'll see what the report is when they come back, either today or tomorrow. It will be Angela Bonnet, who is a sargassum person. It will be members from the fisheries and other conservation. So there's a full team of persons currently on site. It's very unfortunate. This is a critical area for our fisheries, and we have to protect it.
The findings from that assessment are expected to help determine the cause of the fish kill and inform any necessary response measures. The incident adds to ongoing concerns about environmental and economic impacts of sargassum in the region, particularly for smaller island communities like ANEGADA.
In other news, the BVI Health Services Authority, BVIHSA, believes that solid infrastructure is the basis for great healthcare. To this end, several projects are currently underway at the authority.
These projects include exterior maintenance, generator switch installations, and new chillers to enhance air quality, with the installation finally of the new Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital sign to follow. Acting Chief Executive Officer of the BVI Health Services Authority, Dr. June Samuel, further explains how the works will impede some operations, especially in the main parking lot of the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital.
Once the cranes are here, this parking lot is going to be closed off completely for access. So we need the public to listen out, to know how they can safely access all of our buildings.
Right. So next week, the parking lot will be closed off.
Yes.
And obviously, persons will be directed as to new access. And obviously potential parking, they may need to get out early.
Yes.
But we'll provide that update. In addition to the chillers going on the roof, we are also working on the generator connectivity project. Talk to us about that.
So the generator connectivity is about the installation of transfer switches so that the whole campus is connected to our generators, one set of generators, so that during periods of power outage, we have a smooth transition as it relates to provision of electrical services for the whole campus.
Right.
And in doing that, what we're doing is we're getting rid of 2 obsolete generators that were not fully functional that supported the annex section of the building.
Dr. Samuel also stated that works are ongoing on the aesthetics of the building. She said this is to correct the damage caused by the hurricanes way back in 2017.
So what is happening now is that there's complete maintenance of the building itself. So if you come, you will notice that the building is being cleaned. Areas where there has been cracks are being repaired, and the whole building will be sealed to make it, and sealing around the windows so that the infrastructure is properly waterproofed. And then, of course, later on, you will see the erection of the new sign.
Yay!
And there'll be the official naming of the building to the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. All of these enhancements are in keeping with our strategic priorities. They're being done in collaboration with the Ministry of Health through the RDA, and it's a part of our overall goal to ensure that we deliver care that is safe, that is client-centered, and within all of our facilities that the environment is safe for our staff and patients alike.
And with that, we take a quick break, but stay with us because there is more when we return.
We mash the gas, them bite the dust. We set the speed while they gathering rust. Inside we heart BVI come first. So please don't be fooled, cause they not lying.
Once we mash the gas, them bite the dust. Cause we always fast and we always fuss. If you want real speed, you know who to trust. Somebody better tell them they're not like who? They're not like us. CCT fast, like CCT fast, like CCT just generosity, love the community bad, like CCT fast with the 5G. Cause BVI is we.
Across the Virgin Islands, drivers have trusted VI Motors for generations. For 60 years, we've delivered dependable transportation, expert repairs, and quality parts, all under one roof. As a proud Napa franchise, our parts department carries leading brands like PPG Paints, Magic Accessories, Top Don Diagnostics Tools, Westlake and Goodyear Tires, plus reliable LTH batteries. Everything your vehicle needs to perform at its best. Our expert service department handles maintenance, diagnostics, and repairs you can rely on. And our vehicle sales team offers trusted Toyota and Honda vehicles built for island life. We proudly serve you at 2 locations, our flagship store in Dove's Bottom, Tortola, and our location on Virgin Gorda. From parts to service to sales, we're committed to you every step of the way. VI Motors, service beyond the call, serving the Virgin Islands for 60 years.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. VH Lavity Stouts Community College's president, Dr. Richard Georges, is encouraging Virgin Islanders to take full advantage of the Let's Build VI National Scholarship Program. More in this report.
The H. Lavity Stout Community College, HLSCC, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports, is continuing to promote its Let's Build VI National Scholarship Program, with officials encouraging greater participation as the application deadline approaches. The initiative, which was formally introduced during a ceremony at the Paraquita Bay main campus, represents a significant investment in skills-based education across the Virgin Islands. Through its first phase, the program is offering 81 fully funded scholarships, creating pathways into 3 critical sectors of the economy: marine, construction, and hospitality. Funded by the ministry and delivered through HLSCC, Let's Build VI targets unskilled and underemployed Virgin Islanders, providing access to industry-recognized certification, hands-on training, and practical employment-focused learning. Speaking on the radio program Talking Points, HLSCC President Dr. Richard Georges urged eligible persons to take advantage of the opportunity, stressing the importance of building a sustainable, skilled workforce to support the territory's long-term development.
So Let's Build VI is a scholarship program, not to be confused with the actual instruction. So the minister has funded 81 spots across different sectors, inclusive of maritime, where we have the Marine Professional Training Program, which has been wildly successful. We just finished a cohort this month. Our NSER, National Council of Construction and Education and Research, they have certifications which are widely respected throughout North America. And so what we've delivered last year, I'm looking to do again, is our NSER core training, which we have a broad range of training there, and then a specialization, most likely concrete construction will be the specialization that we would offer.
Nice.
Or we will look at what is requested by the people who complete the first part in terms of what specializations we're going to offer. And the last bit is our Major D certificate, which is actually, we mentioned the Culinary Hospitality School. So the Sommet Education through the Les Roches School in Switzerland offers an online Major D certificate, which we will deliver to successful applicants for the Let's Build BI scholarship. So the scholarship window is open, right? It's closing soon. So if people go to letsbuildbi.HLSCC.edu.vg, they can apply for the scholarship. The next phase, after applications have been vetted for eligibility, the next phase is going to be interviews, where we will then select the scholarship recipients, and we will start delivering the programs in the fall.
The deadline for fall 2026 is set for Friday, April 29 at 5 p.m. Interested individuals may apply online via email or in person through HLSCC's Department of Admissions and Enrollment Management at the Paraquita Bay main campus.
In sports news, fans of squash will have the chance to watch international and local talent in action starting next week at the EMC Tortola Classic 2026 as it comes to the Tortola Sports Club. More in this report.
The British Virgin Islands will welcome top squash talent from across the world as the EMCS Tortola Classics 2026 takes place at the Tortola Sports Club from May 5th to May 8th. National squash coach Adam Murrells said the event is part of the Professional World Tour and will feature players from the United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah, so we've got the EMCS Tortola Classic 2026. This is a professional event, so players from all over the world are allowed to enter. We've got players coming in from America, from Canada, from Mexico, and then we've got quite a few of our local players in there as well. So it's going to be a real nice blend of competitors in there.
Is there an age group?
No, so this is open age, so it is just the Professional World Tour. So currently, generally like all sports, the best ages are from 18 to about 35, but it's a case of if you're good enough, then you're within the age bracket.
Entry for spectators will be free all week, and Murrells is encouraging the wider community to attend. According to Murrells, squash in the Virgin Islands is doing extremely well, with high anticipation for the Junior Championships set for July 10th through to July 16th, right here in the BVI.
Squash in the BVI is doing really well. I arrived here on island in a year after Hurricane Irma, so September 2018. And the courts got decimated during Hurricane Irma, so there was a full 12 months of inactivity. We built the courts back, and now we've got a thriving junior program. The juniors have been doing really well, so if I can speak about them, that would be great. Even though they're not involved in this competition, they have gone from, we'd only ever won one Junior Caribbean gold medal, and only one medal at all, but it was a gold medal back in 2009. And then 3 years ago, we managed to win, started with a bronze medal. 2 years ago, we won 2 silvers. Last year, we won 3 golds. And then we backed that up with a gold, a silver, and a bronze. And then again, this year, we're actually going to be hosting the Nagico and Interpath Junior Caribbean Championships. And we're looking to hopefully make history again and get BVI's best ever set of results.
As for the professional event, 5 local players will be participating.
Squash is one of, I think, only 3 or 4 sports that gains representation at the Commonwealth Games for the BVI. So he will be participating. We've got Danny Henderson, who was the under-17 Caribbean champion. He's doing really well with his squash. He's currently got exams at the moment, so squash is a little bit on the back burner, but he's progressing really nicely. We've got Rory Thornton. He represented the national team and he helped us secure qualification through to the CAC Games, which is the Central American and Caribbean Games. We've got Charles de la Riva, who is behind us. He's relatively new on island. He's been doing a lot of work at Cedar, so a lot of the kids get to see him on the court. He's a good squash player and it's going to be great to see him in action. And then we've got myself, generally just coaching nowadays, but used to play professionally on the tour.
He urged parents to get their children involved as multiple opportunities are being offered.
I'd just like to say to anyone who isn't that aware of squash, please, please, please do come down. It's a great sport. It's great for your kids in that it's high intensity. So any kids that are out there that have got boundless amounts of energy, please bring them down and we'll find a suitable way to channel that energy for you. And there really is, it's a bit of a corny saying, but there really is a pathway here in the BVI in terms of squash from grassroots to greatness. We have the junior programs, we have a development program that gets them going through from 6 years old all the way to people going off and representing the BVI at the Commonwealth Games. In the interim, we're having some of our players like Danny, who we spoke about earlier, getting offers from colleges in America to go and study there. So there really are, squash can open doors for all our kids. So yeah, please do get down, come and check it out, come and support our players. And I'd love to talk to you if you do come down, so please come and say hi.
What's the cost attached to getting training for the youngsters?
So we do some work with anyone who's involved with the Youth Empowerment Program. We have sessions for the Youth Empowerment Program on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4:15 till 5:15. That's sponsored, so that's all free. And then we have after-school clubs, which generally work out at $25 per session. We provide all the equipment, so the rackets, the goggles, the balls. We'll provide all of that until you know that your child is enjoying it. And then oftentimes it's nice for the kids to own their own gear.
And that's it for this week's Weekend Roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com, like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, and please also join our WhatsApp channel for the quickest updates. I'm Jacko Wooding-Donovan, and I will see you again next week, so have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.